Hi, I'm Joseph Fagan, and this is Clarity of Vision. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in our world today, how everything seems so incredibly fast paced, how the world demands so much of us, our time, our attention, our effort, our energy. It can get to where it feels empty, hollow. And I went through that. I had an amazing job. I was working for a wonderful company. I made pretty good money. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I was not happy. And I tried for many years to distract myself from that unhappiness that I knew was there, but I didn't want to face it. So I took trips and I bought lots of stuff. And I tried to do anything I could to distract myself. And many of us do that. We spend our lives trying to distract ourselves from the things that confront us internally, the things that we know are there, but we're just not ready to face. And that's okay. That is okay. That's part of life, learning to deal with those things in the way that best suits you. For me, I reached a breaking point, a point where I knew if I wanted to find real joy, not just novelty and temporary elation, but real deep joy in my life, something that would sustain, I knew I had to do things differently. So I began developing principles that I could live by. And there are 5 of them. Create, play, learn, explore, and give. Those 5 simple principles began to make an effect on my life. Now, I'm by no means perfect. It didn't solve magically all my problems, but it has given me tools so that when I reach points in life where it feels empty again, I know how to address it. And I want to talk to you today about those 5 principles in a workbook that I have developed called Joy Ignition. Now, this is it right here. This is Joy Ignition. It is an e-workbook. As you can see here, it's a PDF. You can scroll through it. Has really nice artwork inside, exercises, prompts, and it has many things inside that hopefully will bring you back to your joy, back to that place you were as a child, that place where you created and played and learned and were curious without fear, without apprehension. We all were at that spot one time in our lives, and it's important to try to get back there if we can. And these 5 principles can, I believe, at least for me it did, I believe it can help you do that. So that's a high-level look at Joy Ignition. Let's dive a little deeper, and let me try to explain what those 5 principles mean in some detail, give you a better idea of what's in the book. And if you're interested and you want to pick it up, it's available on Etsy and it's available on my website, joy-ignition.com, for only $9.99. Let's start with create. For the purposes of Joy Ignition, the way I define create is anything that you do where you enjoy the process of it so much that you would do it regardless of the outcome, where you lose yourself in that process. You lose track of time. The doing of it is what matters most. So that's one of the key elements of create, is enjoying the process. It might be taking leftovers and creatively cooking a meal. It might be the way you arrange the furniture in your house. It might be a creative solution or fix to a problem that you have with your car or with some other piece of equipment or what have you. Using and engaging your creative mind to do something that benefits you and allows you to express yourself. This is an important thing because a lot of people many times don't consider themselves to be creative, but that's not really what it's about. Creativity is so much more than just art or poetry or music. You create because you love to create. That creation could be a variety of things, but you do it because you love it. You do it many times because you have this need inside you. You feel like you have to do it. For some people, it's scrapbooking. Whatever it is, it's important that you do it. Let's next look at play. So as a kid, we used to play all the time. We rode bikes. We played cops and robbers, or tag, or chase, or any myriad of other things that we did as children. That is such an important part of who you are as a person. Play. Now, what does that look like as an adult? Maybe you love frisbee football, or golf, or mountain climbing, or bicycling, or you name it. The important thing is that you do those things not for performance, not to push yourself, not to see how far you can get, not to see how good you can be, but you do it for the joy of it. Because when you're on that bike, you feel free. Because when you're making that golf swing, you feel free. We play as human beings because it's a part of who we are, deeply, and it's important. And if you were like me a few years ago, before I developed these 5 principles, if you'd stopped playing, stopped interacting with your fellow man, stopped letting that part of your life flourish, then it can make you feel very disconnected. And I did. And I understood that play is a super important part of who I am as a human being. And as I said, play can look different for many, many different people. Now, let's talk about learn. Learn is also really important because it keeps your mind alive. It keeps it active. When you learn new things, you grow what are called dendrites in your mind, in your brain. It physically changes the pathways in your brain when you learn new information. And when you enjoy learning, you learn more deeply. So go out and learn something new, whether it's learning a new recipe, learning how to play a song, learning to write code in a language you've never learned before, C++, Objective-C, what have you. Learning to expand your mind. This is important. It's important to do it not because it will get you ahead, not because it will get you that promotion, not because it will fuel your sense of success, but because it's fun to learn. It's a joy to learn new things, even if it's something small. It doesn't have to be career related. It can be, I just I want to learn how they make candy, or I want to know how, television shows are created. Whatever it is, learn, expand your mind. The next principle is explore. Now, many people, especially people of means, think explore means traveling the world to far-off exotic locations, and expensive trips and luxurious hotels, and that stuff is amazing. Don't get me wrong. No judgment here. I love doing that stuff myself. But explore is so much more than that. And it can be so much smaller than that. If you are in a place in your life where you don't have the means to have big, extravagant vacations, etc., or even if you are, there are small things you can do in your life right now that fulfill that need to explore. You can take a road in your neighborhood you've never been down before. You can take a different way home from work. You can find a small jewel of a little town nearby that you've read about, heard about, and never been to. You want to check out a new coffee shop or a new restaurant. Explore. Explore the world around you. No matter how close, it can have real impact in your life. So we've looked at create, we've looked at play, we've looked at learn, we've looked at explore. And the last principle is give. Now, give doesn't always mean your money. I'm not asking you to go out and make some huge donation. Give can be as small as a kind word to someone, a smile to a stranger. It can be a helping hand when someone needs it. It can also be money if you want to give to your favorite charity, something you believe in. But giving of yourself in some way, no matter how small, will bring you joy. I promise. As long as you do it from your heart, from a genuine place inside. Not because you want to impress someone, not because you feel like society thinks you should do something. Give because it's important to you and because it brings you joy. Give anonymously. Give without the need for a thank you, for a pat on the back, for any kind of recognition. That's the kind of giving, no matter how small, that makes a difference, not only in someone else's life, but in yours. So we've got create, play, learn, explore, and give. Now, they don't always have to be in that order. When you're arranging these for your life, you can put them in any order that feels right for you. And it may change for you over time. You may put give first at one point in your life, and you may put learn first at another point. You want to make this work for you. You want to have these principles be a deep part of who you are so that you no longer feel hollow. You no longer feel empty. You're no longer chasing distraction, whether it's a marathon of TV shows on Netflix or a shopping trip where you're trying to buy your blues away. I have done all those things, trust me. They do not work. I've tried buying my way to happiness, didn't work. I tried distracting myself with everything under the sun. It does not work. The only thing I have found that genuinely brought me sustained joy into my life are those 5 principles. Create, play, learn, explore, and give. It's really that simple. So I encourage you, even if you don't buy the book, think about what I've said and try to put those principles into action in your life. And if you want a little assistance with it, the book's only $9.99. It's worth picking up. Check it out. Go through the exercises. The prompts are really engaging. I think they're important because they make you think about each principle and how it can be applied in your life. And I wanted to share that with you today because I felt like it's important. The book means something to me. This philosophy, these 5 principles, I think mean something to me, and I think will to you too if you give it a chance. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.